At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.
Good morning, everyone. This is Laurel Highlands Happenings on 97.3 Light FM, 1480 WCNS, and online at 973lightfm.com. I'm TJ DeStefano, and we're joined by the Executive Director of the Laurel Highlands Visitors Bureau, Ann Nemanick. Ann, good morning.
Hi, TJ. Good morning. It's great to be back with everyone for our August edition of Laurel Highlands Happenings. I am Ann Nemanick, the Executive Director of the Laurel Highlands Visitors Bureau, and I have a very special guest today. Brandon Simpson is the new Director for Westmoreland County Bureau of Parks and Recreation. And as we navigate through the weeks and months of the pandemic, we know that our outdoor resources have been a welcome respite for so many. And here at the Laurel Highlands Visitors Bureau, we recognize that and branded our summer campaign called Fresh Air Fun. So Brandon joins me as my guest to kind of share some of the fun things in our Westmoreland County park system. Brandon, let's talk a little bit about the scope of parks managed by the Bureau of Parks and Recreation in Westmoreland County. I think there are more than folks might realize.
Yes, and I'd like to just start off by thanking you for having me. We always appreciate and enjoy being able to highlight our park system that we have here in Westmoreland County, so thank you very much. So the Westmoreland County Bureau of Parks and Recreation, we maintain 10 parks throughout the county. 4 of those parks are what we refer to as regional parks, and each are approximately 400 to 500 acres and offer a wide variety of facilities, including pavilions, activity centers, sports fields, and many other outdoor recreation activities. They also serve as a base of operations for the maintenance and care of the park system. And those 4 regional parks that we operate are Twin Lakes Park in Greensburg, Mammoth Park in Mount Pleasant, Cedar Creek Park in Bell Vernon, and Northmoreland Park in Apollo. Now, we also have 6 other parks that we kind of term as satellite parks that we own and maintain. And I'd like to talk a little bit about them because those are the ones that a lot of the time people aren't as familiar with.
Sure.
So
yeah.
First, we have the Sewickley Creek Wetlands, which is an interpretive area. It's a 26-acre environmental education area with trails and an observation deck. And that site is dedicated to natural study and the observation of plants and animals. The next 2 that we have are very similar in nature. We have Bridgeport Dam, which is located near Mount Pleasant, and it's a multi-purpose flood control dam on Jacobs Creek. And that park offers fishing, hunting, and nature study opportunities, as well as some soccer fields near the spillway of the dam. That 322-acre park includes a permanent water pool, which spans about 70 acres, and also has a boat launch. And very similar to that, Chestnut Ridge Park, which is right down the road from Bridgeport, located near Acme, it is also a multi-purpose flood control dam site at Jacobs Creek atop Chestnut Ridge. That park is 189 acres and features a 25-acre recreational pool that expands during flood periods and also includes a boat launch area. Moving a little bit closer to Greensburg, we also have the Ann Rudd Saxman Nature Park, which is a 63-acre park located about 2 miles east of Greensburg off of Donahoe Road. That's adjacent to the Westmoreland Conservation District. And that park offers numerous walking trails and environmental educational opportunities, as well as the scenic wildflowers and an abundance of wildlife. Next, we have historic Hannastown, which is a 180-acre park preserved for its historical value, as it was actually the first seat of government for Westmoreland County. And that park consists of reconstructed Hannastown Tavern, 3 relocated log houses, a reconstructed Revolutionary War-era fort, and a wagon shed that houses an authentic late 18th century Conestoga wagon. Recently, in 2019, the Westmoreland Historical Society moved its headquarters to the historic Hannastown, and they opened the Westmoreland History Education Center that includes an exhibit gallery, classroom, museum shop, and library. And then last but certainly not least is the Loyalhanna Gorge, which is a 1,200-acre greenway approximately 3 miles in length, located on both sides of Route 30 and the Loyalhanna Creek between Latrobe and Ligonier. Most people that are familiar with the gorge know that it's comprised of steep slopes covered with mature hardwood forests, and the gorge is home to a wide variety of flora and fauna, including a number of animal species that are listed in the Natural Diversity Inventory as species of concern. The gorge offers a wide variety of recreational opportunities that include hiking, fishing, hunting, and nature study. So that kind of in a nutshell is the 10 parks that we maintain throughout Westmoreland County.
That's a pretty big nutshell. And you talked about a lot of acres, Brandon. How many are on your staff to help to maintain all of these properties over such a large county like Westmoreland?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our base of operations in our 4 regional parks house our maintenance staff. We have a park manager at each one of those parks, and those staffs vary from 4 per park up to 7. So they operate out of those regional parks, and each of those regional parks is assigned a satellite park that they oversee. So overall, we have 21 maintenance employees, including 4 park managers and then 6 office staff here that assist with programs, planning, and communications.
Well, I'll be the first to say that you and your team do a tremendous job in maintaining our parks. As part of something that we promote in the Laurel Highlands, not only to visitors, but to our locals. It's just a wonderful system that has, as you've already said, such diversity in each and every park. So let's take a moment. During these challenging times, we know that work has to go on. There are trees that might come down, but there's also improvements that need to be made. So let's talk a little bit about the improvements being made at the parks this summer and even into the fall season. What's taking place?
Sure. So obviously with the pandemic and everybody being in the situation that we were in, we're still trying to get back on track with our general maintenance. But in doing that, we don't want to lose sight of all of the projects that we've had planned because we think that they're important to update all of our parks. So we've been working through all of this to keep on track and try to keep on pace for all the timing of our projects. So the goal is to get to all of our regional parks with updates. Over the last 15 years, we've been at Twin Lakes and now we've kind of got to Mammoth Park and Cedar Creek Park, and we're going to begin to work at Northmoreland Park. But what we have going on this summer, a lot of it has to do with Cedar Creek Park and Northmoreland Park. Right now, we're working to complete the Cedar Creek Phase 2, which includes updates to our parking area, a winter tubing and sledding facility, a new 200-seat pavilion along the Gap Trail near the Youghiogheny River that overlooks the Youghiogheny River. We did numerous parking updates. Cedar Creek Park was a park that has 20 pavilions. We just added the 21st pavilion, and we had lacked parking on that for a long time, so we added additional parking for all of our users to make it more convenient to access, along with ADA walkways and ADA accessible facilities. Also with that, we're completing a sewage plan, which is Phase 3 and Phase 5. A few years ago, we had the opportunity to put a public sewage system into Cedar Creek Park, and it was the first park that we have that we could get sewage to. So the goal has been to connect all of our restrooms to this sewage system so that all of our restrooms could be flush restrooms and go away from the vault, which is obviously more appealing to users. It helps us to maintain and keep a cleaner facility. So we completed Phase 1 and 2 of that sewage project, which included 7 restrooms connected to public sewage. And what we're planning right now is Phases 3 and 5 to be completed in the fall. And that would get all of our restrooms except for 2 hooked up to the sanitary sewage system, and then we would come back later on and connect the additional 2. And then Northmoreland, we've been working up there. We have two projects, one that's currently going on and one that's going to be starting hopefully in early 2021. The Northmoreland Rehabilitation Project, Phase 1, is a ball field project. We have the ball field group that we have up there that uses the ball fields. We have a few different groups. They utilize those fields all throughout the summer and fall. And, when we did our community meeting, one of the things that came out of it was a lot of people wanted to see some upgrades to those facilities. So we started that project almost a month ago, and it's really moving fast. It includes two upgrades to current baseball fields, and then the addition of two other baseball fields, with the thought that as we move forward, we could add other amenities to that facility and make it a destination for tournaments and teams to come and use and play. And then our Phase 2, which like I said, we're hoping to get started in the spring, includes some updates to our other park facilities. We're looking at adding a destination playground to Northmoreland Park. We're also looking to upgrade the walking trail around the lake. We're looking to add a handicapped kayak and canoe launch to access the lake. And then also upgrades to our soccer facility. We have a large soccer group that operates out of Northmoreland Park, and we're looking to upgrade their fields and actually try to give them additional fields as well.
I'll be honest, I didn't really know about Northmoreland until my daughter played soccer on those very fields. And I just was amazed at how beautiful the landscape is at Northmoreland. And the lake is wonderful. I've taken a stroll around that walkway, and the improvements that you've mentioned, I think, are just going to raise the level for that particular park. It is a master plan. It's a big undertaking. I've seen the drawings and so forth. So it's really going to be a wonderful sports complex once it's completed. And do you have a timeline, Brandon? I mean, understandably, under the circumstances where we are, hard to pinpoint a date, but how many years might you think until everything is completed at Northmoreland?
Well, we know phase 1 will be completed before the end of this year. Like I said, the plan for Phase 2 is to begin that in the spring and hopefully complete it in 2021. Obviously, we don't know what the future holds and what kind of delays we might experience, but the plan is to have both Phase 1 and 2 completed before the end of 2021.
So many folks in the region and visitors alike are familiar with Twin Lakes Park and such a great setting and home to the Westmoreland County Arts and Heritage Festival. What improvements might we see on the horizon there in Greensburg?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Twin Lakes, obviously one of our more popular parks, centrally located near Greensburg, so very heavily used park. Recently, we finished some updates to the Pavilion number 6 and Pavilion number 8 areas. We added new restrooms, built a new pavilion for Pavilion 8, which is a 100-seat pavilion, an upgrade from the 25-seater that originally Pavilion 8 was. We also added playground facilities to both of those, and then also flush restrooms to both sites. One of the things about the Pavilion 8 site, for those that are familiar with it, it sits on the backside of the lake. Twin Lakes is a heavily fished lake, and one of the problems that we've always had was on that backside of the lake, you'd have to walk a far distance to get to a restroom facility. So we thought it was important to add that in. So that's just recently been completed. What we're working on now for Twin Lakes Park is a project to replace the lower lake retaining wall. That retaining wall was built many, many years ago, and it's starting to show some wear and tear. We'd like to replace that wall from the boathouse to the Pavilion 8 area, and then include in that new walkways with an updated boat dock for our paddle boats, rowboats, and canoe rentals. So one of the things with that project is to complete that wall restructure, we need to lower the lake. And we like to do that over winter. That way it helps us with weed control. Hopefully, if we get a cold winter, it'll help control some of the weeds that we have growing in the lakes and make it more accessible for fishermen. So that's where we're at with Twin Lakes. We've, like I said, completed the 6 and 8 project, and we're looking to do the wall project over this winter and hopefully complete that before spring.
Oh, I think we're kind of on a roll on these different parks. So let's just move right along to Mammoth Park and the recently opened slides. I'll let you kind of carry the conversation here.
Yeah, sure. So obviously this was one of our most anticipated projects, the replacement of the old giant slide at Mammoth Park. Back when we first started to plan for this, we gathered numerous inputs from the public, and one thing became very clear. No one wanted us to replace the slide with something boring and not as exciting as the original giant slide. So many people had great memories of the old slide that, we thought it was important to capture that thrill and excitement in the new complex. So this one-of-a-kind destination facility includes approximately 2 100-foot-long stainless steel racing slides and a 40-foot-long plastic slide for younger visitors. Climbing back to the top is proven to be just as fun and challenging as the ride down with a scramble climbing path. One thing that we were able to do with this project is, obviously the completion date kind of fell within the middle of the pandemic, and so we had to push our completion date back a little bit. But we wanted to get that site open as soon as possible because we just had so much interest in it. So we were able to open that site on July 2nd, with the exception of having missed the window to plant some of our landscaping items in the middle of the summer. And then currently we're awaiting arrival of the cargo net, which goes along with the 40-foot plastic slide for younger kids as a way for them to climb back to the top. That's fun and exciting. So that cargo net has experienced some delays, and we're hoping to have that site completely finished this fall. As with the old giant slide, the new racing slides are stainless steel. So during the summer months, obviously the slides can become hot. We encourage people to always check the slides before riding. We're hoping that once we finish the landscaping and as the trees develop over time, it will provide more shade for the slides. Also, the use of slide enhancement materials such as wax paper is still prohibited and can be very dangerous, as well as riding down the slide with more than one person, including small children. So, it's a very exciting project. We're happy to get it open. We ask users to exercise caution, follow the posted rules, and, that will help make their experience there more enjoyable.
Understandable. I know one slide was great, but 2 makes it even better, right? When you can race with your friends and your family. So
that's correct.
We're excited to be able to showcase that as the plantings get finalized and the nets in place. We know that will certainly be, as you recall, called it a destination, not only for our local residents, but for visitors as well. Now, I know in our office we receive almost on a daily basis, where can I ride a bike, especially in times like these? And it's exciting for us to be able to recommend the wonderful new Westmoreland Heritage Trail. So let's take a few moments to share with our listeners who might not be familiar with this about this great new addition for cyclists in the county.
Yeah, sure. So Westmoreland Heritage Trail, we've been working on that for a while. Basically, the overall concept of the Heritage Trail is we have 18 of a proposed 22 miles completed. We have approximately 9 miles of the trail completed from Salzburg to Delmont, along with a little over 9 miles from Lincoln Avenue and Export to BY Park in Trafford. The long-term goal is to construct a 22-mile hiking and bicycling trail from Salzburg to Trafford. Right now, we're currently working on the middle gap, as we call it, to connect Export to Salzburg. This 4-mile stretch crosses Route 66, which obviously poses numerous obstacles. So right now we have a steering committee to determine the best route to acquire land and build a trail to make those connections. For those people that would like to access the trail, it can be done by using the Westmoreland Heritage Trail from Export to Trafford. You would use Roberts Trail access, which is Duck Park in Murraysville, or they could access it via Saunders Station area in Monroeville, and then also BY Park in Trafford. If they would look to access the 9 miles from Salzburg to Delmont section, they can use the Sewickley Volunteer Fire Department trail access, Sarah Steele trail access off of Bortz Road in Sewickley, or the Salzburg trail access located by the Salzburg playground.
That's a lot. And I know it takes a lot to do everything that you do. You've always had great partners. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Foundation have been good supporters of the park system, but just individuals are able to assist with things that are taking place in the park system as volunteers or as fundraisers, especially with the March for Parks. Sadly, that was unable to be held this year, but I understand that folks can still do something as we move along. So even though the March for Parks wasn't held, I think there was a success story there, and we can still assist in some way as the year goes along. So what can we as individuals do, Brandon?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's still opportunities. One of the big things we try to show when we plan every project is the community support we have for that particular project. And our big fundraiser for the year is the March for Parks. We had everything planned this year, and unfortunately, the restrictions and guidance for the pandemic hit about a week before that, so we had to very quickly alter our plans, and we kind of changed it to a virtual event. Surprisingly, it wasn't. It didn't hurt us in terms of the support that we had, which shows, exactly how important our parks are to those people in the community. So this year, the event raised over $80,000 for our parks and trails, which was fantastic. We've continued through that, trying to put out information as far as we have tons of T-shirts available for the March for Parks. So there are still opportunities to support. If you'd like to support the parks and purchase a March for Parks T-shirt, we have those available here in our parks office, or the Penn Franklin newspaper office also has those. We also have opportunities to support some other portions of the parks and trails. The 5-Star Trail Poker Run is an annual event that the 5-Star Trail Chapter normally has in July. They've also tweaked their event this year to follow all of the guidance and recommendations and social distancing. So they're offering 3 dates to come out and ride the trail, register, you get a T-shirt, things of that nature. The first date in July has already passed, but their next 2 dates are August 15th and September 19th from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. And you can register on site or mail a registration form, which can be found on our website. But that happens at the Huff Avenue Trail Access located in South Greensburg. So there's other opportunities that we have. We're currently working with Chick-fil-A on a receipt program that every receipt that we turn in, we get a percentage back of that goes towards the parks. So if anybody out there frequents Chick-fil-A and would like to help support the parks, it would be the Chick-fil-A located in Eastgate and or Westmoreland Mall location. Those can be dropped off here at our parks office or mailed in, and that information can also be found on our website.
Great. Well, we've mentioned the website, and we mentioned a lot of pavilions also during our conversation today. So let's give our listeners phone numbers, a website, and maybe a little information about renting one of the beautiful pavilions in all of the parks that you operate.
Absolutely. So, our website, www.co.westmoreland.pa.us/parks, has all of our parks information on it. It's also where you can access our online registration and reservation for facilities and pavilion rentals. You can also call 724-830-3950, which is our main office number here for the parks. If you have questions about reservations or reserving anything, we have 55 total pavilions spread out throughout our parks that vary in size from 25 people to 200 people. Our rates and everything are posted on our website and can be accessed via that, and they vary anywhere from $25 up to $210, depending on the size of the pavilion and the day you'd like it. So I would encourage anybody looking to rent a facility to visit our website. Those can be reserved online, and if you have any issues, we're more than happy to assist you by calling us or sending us an email.
Well, we're in the throes of summer. It's been hot, that's for sure. But let's look ahead a moment to fall and the hobgoblin hikes, and you mentioned sledding opportunities. So how will you make decisions on what will be open and not moving forward, Brandon?
Yeah, so currently we have canceled all programs through September. We're still holding out hope that guidance and recommendations on gatherings could change and allow us to hold an event later in the year. What we've really done is identify dates where we need to make decisions for each one of those events based on letting vendors know, letting entertainers know, and things of that nature. So it's looking like we're making our decisions about a month out. Something for our haunted hikes in late October, we'd probably look to make that decision sometime in mid to late September, and hopefully we can get back on track and get some of these events. And I know we get numerous calls that people are looking for things to do. As soon as we're able to host or have one of these events safely, that's what we will do.
Well, I'll take it as a positive. The parks are open right now, so that's a good thing. Folks can get outside and enjoy that fresh air fun and all the recreational opportunities that are available at the numerous parks that are in our park system here in Westmoreland County. Listeners, I want to thank today's sponsors, Be Kind Winery, located on Main Street in Ligonier, and the Stallstown Flax Scutching Festival. Sadly, the festival was canceled for this year, but will be weaving its way back into our calendars for 2021. You can't keep one of America's longest-running festivals down for too long. We appreciate the ongoing support of all of our incredible Laurel Highlands partners. And if you'd like to become one, simply give our office a call at 724-238-5661. And a very special thank you to my guest, Brandon Simpson, the new director of the Westmoreland County Parks and Recreation System, for joining us today on Laurel Highlands Happenings. I'm very happy to let our listeners know that in September, that British voice, Louise Bates, will be back as your special host. So we're excited to bring Louise back into the fold. But until then, we want you to get out and enjoy some fresh air fun in Pennsylvania's beautiful Laurel Highlands. To plan your visit, it's easy to do. Just visit our website, laurelhighlands.org. to get the planning started. And as Brandon mentioned, if you're interested in reserving a pavilion in Westmoreland County, that phone number is 724-830-3950. He mentioned a number of opportunities to help along the way with the poker run and your Chick-fil-A receipts. If you want to drop those off, their main office is located on Donahoe Road in Greensburg. But again, making reservations and finding out all the things that are happening in the Westmoreland County Park System, super easy to do. Visit their website, westmoreland.pa.us/park. So it has been a hot summer. We certainly know that there are many things that you can enjoy here in the Laurel Highlands. We want you to include all of the park systems as part of your itineraries here in Laurel Highlands, Pennsylvania.
At LHTC Broadband, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. We're your local choice for TV, phone, and internet. We offer high-quality cable TV service with HD, multi-room DVR, on-demand, and watch TV everywhere. Plus unlimited calling, and our internet is faster than ever with speeds up to 1 gigabyte. With no contracts and local customer service, switching has never been easier. Call today, 724-593-2411, or visit lhtcbroadband.com.